Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of Freaking Awesome Italian. In this lesson, we're going to be covering pronouns and the verb to be. So we're going to get the last few pieces that we need in order to be able to start putting together everything we've learned so far to make some sentences. I know it's been a kind of a long road, but we're finally there. We can finally start making sentences and putting them all together. So let's take a look at the pronouns. So, in order to learn about pronouns or verbs or a few of the other things that we're going to be learning in this course, first we have to look at the Sixpack. The Sixpack, what it is, it's basically a chart that you use when you're learning a language in order to see conjugations. It's called a Sixpack just because it looks, you can guess why. It looks like a six-pack on a buff dude. So, what we see up here at the top, we're always going to see the infinitive of a verb. Which infinitive is, in English, it's the to form of the verb. That means like to eat, to drive, to walk, right? That's going to go up top. That's called the infinitive. And then each row of this chart corresponds to a person. So there's going to be first person in the first row, second person in the second row, third person in the third row. And the columns correspond to number, singular and plural. So in the first row, first column, there we see first person singular, which is I, right? I in English. And then we have second person singular, you, so just you as one person. And then we have third person singular, which is he or she or it, right? Third person. Then we get to first person plural, which is we, right? And then second person plural, you guys, you plural, or y'all. And then finally, third person plural, they, right? So you just need to memorize this format, the Sixpack, and how it's laid out, because we're going to use this every time we learn a new verb or every time we look at pronouns or anything like that. It's always going to be laid out in this structure so that you can identify exactly what goes where on the chart. I'll show you what I mean. So let's learn the personal pronouns in Italian. Here we have the personal pronouns. Right, so we have I, you, he, she, we, you, they in the structure of the Sixpack. In Italian, we're going to use the same structure and we're going to put them in the same place as the chart in English so that we can see where they correspond. So first person singular, I. In Italian, it's io, io. It's two syllables, io. And then the you singular, second person singular, right, is tu, tu. Third person singular, that's he or she, is lui and lei. So lui means he. It's two syllables, lui. And then lei, one syllable, lei, that's she. Lui and lei. Now we're going to learn we, which in Italian is noi, noi, noi. And you plural is voi, voi, voi. And then finally they, which is third person plural, is loro, loro. So we have io, tu, lui, lei, noi, voi, loro. Okay, so now we're going to learn the verb to be, and this is what I was talking about earlier when I said that the infinitive goes up top, right? So to be, that's the infinitive form of the verb. And then when we conjugate it, which means making it correspond to the person and the number, right? I am, you are, he is, that they go in the right place on the chart, on the Sixpack. So here we're going to bring up the same verb to be, but its equivalent form in Italian. So essere. Essere is the infinitive. So anytime in English you would say to be, in Italian you'd say essere. That's the infinitive. And now we're going to see the different forms of them that correspond to the different people and numbers. All right, so the first person singular of essere, sono, sono. So sono means I am. The cool thing about Italian, it's something that's slightly different than English, is that you don't need the pronoun. So, right, in English you have to say I am. You can't just say am by itself. You can't say am hungry. You have to say I am hungry, right? In Italian you can just say sono. You don't have to say io sono. You can for emphasis, or if you want to say like the whole complete phrase, or you can just say sono, and it means the same thing. So we'll revisit that a few times. Anyways, so there's the first person singular. The second person singular, you are, is sei. Sei. You singular, one person are, sei. And then he or she is e. E. And remember to always, when you write this word, always write it with the accent over it, the backward slanting accent over the e, because otherwise it's a different word. So we have e, means he or she is. Then we have siamo, we are, siamo. Then you are, siete, siete. And they are, sono, sono. And that is, as you can see, that's the same as the first person singular, but don't worry, you would never confuse them because it's very obvious through the context whether you're saying I am or they are, right? So yeah, you'll never confuse those, don't worry, even though they're written the same. So we have sono, sei, e, siamo, siete, sono. All right, so I'm going to leave these charts up here so that we can use them for reference as we start putting them together. So there we have the pronouns in the top left and their equivalent in the top right in Italian. And then we have the verb to be in the bottom left and their Italian equivalent in the bottom right. So let's take a look at how you would do this. Io sono, I am, right? So you take the first person singular pronoun and you match it with the first person singular form of essere. Io sono, I am. Or, like I said earlier, you can just say sono. You don't have to say io with it. Tu sei, you are, tu sei, or just sei. Lui è, or lei è, right? He is or she is. Lui è, lei è. Noi siamo, So, as you can see, we're just matching the pronoun with the equivalent version of essere there. Noi siamo. And voi siete, you, plural, are, voi siete. And loro sono, they are, loro sono. Hope that makes sense. So it's finally time to make some sentences. Now that we have all these pieces together, I'm going to leave these charts up here again just for easy reference, so you can just reference them as we're making these sentences here. So let's try it out. I am American. I am American. Let's see how we would say that. I'll give it to you. Sono americano. That's the masculine if you're a man. If you're a woman, sono americana with the A at the end. That's the feminine version, right? So I am American, sono americano, or sono americana. Or you can also say io sono, right? But you don't have to. So I'll give you that one. Now I'll give you a little bit of time to figure out how you would say this. He is Italian. How would you say that? You would say lui è italiano. Lui è italiano. Or just è italiano. She is Italian. So it's going to be similar, but you're just going to make Italian feminine. Lei è italiana. Or just è italiana. They are Italians. Here's how the gender works when you're doing plural. If they're all males, you use the masculine form. Or if they're mixed genders, so some males, some females, you also use the masculine. You would only use the feminine if it's a group of all females. So if it's mixed gender, you use the masculine plural. See if you remember that from a past lesson. Sono italiani, or loro sono italiani, right? That's a group of men or mixed gender. If they're a group of all females, let's see if you can guess how you'd say this. Feminine plural, sono italiane. Loro sono italiane. They are Italians, all female. We are students. Siamo studenti. Siamo studenti. And you can see that the I at the end is obviously plural, right? If it was just one, sono studente. But since it's plural, siamo studenti. Let's learn a new word real quick. Chi means who. Chi means who. So now that we have that tool, we can make a little bit more complex sentences. Chi sei? Chi sei? This is a question and it means who are you, right? Chi sei?
You could also say chi sei tu, but it's not necessary. You can just say chi sei. Who are you? Chi è lui? Chi è lui? Who is he? Lui è Francesco. He is Francesco, right? Chi è lui? Lui è Francesco. That's all I have for you today. Thank you very much for watching. Arrivederci.